Okay. All right. Welcome. Great to see so many people, new faces, not so new faces as well. Thank you very much, not pointing or looking at anyone. I'm not making any eye contact. Okay, thank you very much. Back into another year. So, first of all, apologies. I've got Andrew West, John Fairman, and Dennis Weiss, who has just returned from Melbourne and is in quarantine. He rang me today from Warwick. He just got across the border and was saying that he's just had a test in Warwick and he's going off to quarantine, so he apologised for not being able to make it tonight. So there's 15 minutes that we can put in the bank. Hi Dennis, how are you? Love you. Yes.
He can fill out his minutes.
Yes. While you're doing it, Dennis, you can fill out your own minutes. Okay, let us know. You can phone it in. All right. Yes. So Dennis Weiss again, and any other apologies?
Andrew Hall.
Andrew Hall.
Yes.
Alex, sorry.
I did hear.
Yeah.
I've got to hear.
Okay. All right. Last meeting was last year at Westside BMW, and the minutes for that were circulated. Hopefully, someone has seen it that can second those minutes. Thank you very much, Russell. Also, I'd like to welcome any new faces to the room, to the meeting tonight. Do we have any new members who've come along for the first time tonight? Over here. Rob James, could you just stand up, introduce yourself? Yes. First BMW, yes. 3 Series, yep. Great, excellent. And I'm sorry, I can't recall your name. Dirk. And you also have, what have you got on order? An N2 competition. Very nice. Welcome to the club. Oh, yes. Hello.
I'll talk to both of us.
Okay.
I'm Kathy, this is Adrian. X4, X1,
With some motor racing heritage too. Tell us about you. Cole.
Film heritage. My dad was an editor.
Oh, right.
For City South Town.
Oh, wow. Okay. We'll get together later and have a chat. Anyone else? Actually, Peter.
Hi, Peter. M4 Vertical. Been a member for about a year. This is my first meeting.
Yes. And Peter Solomon. And I do have to say thank you to Peter. You may have seen I put a call out just recently for some help with IT. We've been struggling a bit with IT. Well, I've been absolutely frantic with IT. We've had a huge problem with our website and emails and domains and all sorts of stuff. I called for a club member who might be able to help us out with IT. Peter has stepped up, and Peter's background is in IT. So over the next few months, I'm going to talk to Peter and get him to review all of our systems and get us up to speed, find out where our weaknesses are, and try and fill in some gaps. The problem we had just recently, and it became patently obvious to me that I didn't know the right questions to ask, and I didn't know the right people to ask them to. So I think that's the biggest battle. And when I finally got through that, someone said, "Oh, it's that button," and that was sort of 4 months and lost emails and all sorts of stuff. So it's been a bit of a thing. So welcome, Peter, and thank you very much for your help Peter is going to be coordinating with John Payne over here to just review our membership procedures. We've got a few things coming up which I will explain to you. Also that we're going to change the way we do a few things to try and streamline things, and with Peter's help it should be great. All right, going back to the end of last year, does anyone have any business arising from the minutes of last year? I think it was pretty much a wrap up at the end of the year. We're all leading towards Christmas and our Christmas function, all that sort of stuff. So I don't think there's anything really outstanding there. The only ongoing issue from then was the poll for the new logo, which I'll go into later. Actually, Roman Miller is another person who passed on his apologies. I'm sorry, Leanne. Okay, well, we'll skip along, and what I will do, I will post the information about the Treasurer's report to the membership in a follow-up email. My apologies. Leanne, would you like to run through your secretary notes, please?
Secretary. We've got another association for a corporation for another renewal. Now it's only for $57.60 this time, because what that will do is bring us up to the 31st of December, financial year end date. Right, so we must be back paying up till then, and then the renewal will go forward after that. So I'll have to have a look in it. There's no real explanation. There's no change in any of the details at the moment, so it's just a matter of filling out the form and paying and keeping us current. So that can be done straight away. And we do have registration for the trailer. That was paid, I believe.
Yes.
It was authorised.
Yep.
I did see that go through, so that's fine.
And in fact, I think,
There's a registration certificate, and so that was paid on the 25th of January, so that's all up to date. I do note, and we've made a note of it, the residential or the business address that it's registered under is 9 Kenhaven Street, Kenmore, which is previous president's address, but he no longer lives there. So I think we need to look at getting that updated and put to a new current address, so that if there is anything sent to us, it's addressed to the post office box, but even so, a physical street address has to be registered. So we'll make sure that we just bring that up to date. So that's another thing we will put on our list of things to do.
Okay.
And I think that was all, as in secretary side of things.
Okay, Russell, Thomas, social.
Alrighty, so Friday the 11th of December, we had the last supper and monthly meeting. Around 25 members and guests enjoyed pizzas after the final meeting of the year. Thank you to Marianne for organising the pizzas on the night. Saturday the 12th of December, we had our BMW Club and Gold Coast Gala dinner and Christmas party on the rooftop at Ridges down at the airport. It was great end of year to get together. We had 96 members attend, members and guests attend for the afternoon and the evening event. We had 59 from Club Queensland, 31 from Club Gold Coast, and 6 guest speakers attend that event. Some of the highlights of the night included a speech from Bruce Linton, a video feed to Munich in the BMW Group Classic Collection hosted by Eva Moga and Leanne Tymms. Thank you very much, Leanne. And a very limited edition BMW Club Queensland wine glass that each member received on the night as a memento of the night. So that was a nice little gift that we gave out to everyone who attended. Special thanks goes out to Leanne, Greg, Sue, Gary, Alex, Kerry, and everyone who assisted over the months and the weeks leading up to the event. Then we went on to Australia Day Drive and Barbecue at Cambodia on Tuesday the 26th of January. We had 40 members attend and guests enjoyed the scenic drive to Cambodia. Gary, did you want to give us any update on that one, or did you want me to just go?
It was just a very last minute thing because
Yep.
we were supposed to have the Australian Outback Spectacular that
Yep.
night. That was cancelled, so we just put on a quick run. It wasn't anything organised, but locally the local community at Cambodia were having their Australia Day celebration at the pub, so
Yep.
they invited us to share their barbecue. The publican let us use his dining room because he wasn't running a meal, because he wanted the barbecue to raise money.
Yep.
And we picked up a brand new member who happens to live in Cambodia, which was one of those. He works in Toowoomba, and I said, "Oh, we're going up to Cambodia for
Yep.
Australia Day." He said, "I lived in Cambodia," so he was able to talk up the publican and the lady from the school barbecue, put on extra steaks for us, and do all sorts of good things.
Yeah.
So it worked out really nicely. And another family on Facebook, BMW people from Toowoomba saw we were doing this event and drove out and met us and saw our cars, and we chatted and chatted. It was a nice run up, a great day.
Yep, great. Thanks, Gary. Next event was the Australian Outback Spectacular on Saturday the 30th of January. So we had 45 members attend that event at Oxenford. So we saw the show, we had a 3-course meal, we got a hat, a pre-show drink, a VIP behind the scenes tour, a program in a lanyard, and a special dessert. The feedback from the members was very positive and everyone really enjoyed the night. Also a big thank you to everyone who was flexible in changing the dates as well, because our Australia Day show got cancelled, as Gary said. So we had to reschedule for the following Saturday. And that was great. So we had a lot of people stay on and come through on Saturday, which was great. Some of the proposed upcoming events we've got is a movie afternoon at Event Cinemas at Chermside on Sunday the 7th of March. We've got an exclusive cinema booked for us for Brock Over the Top. We're going to have basically food and beverage available within the cinema, and we're looking at $10 per ticket, and that's kicking off at 2 p.m. on Sunday the 7th of March. So I'll get that up on the website shortly. Also looking at an event in April for go-karting at Kingston Park Raceway, having a go-kart morning and a breakfast. That's at Mudgee Street, Kingston. So looking at doing 10 laps, 4 separate runs around the track, having a barbecue breakfast, and we can also take our cars on the track and do a slow, happy laps around the track.
That'll happen.
So that'll be a good morning.
In single lane?
Yeah, I don't know, someone needs to lead the pack.
Hello.
No, not you.
Hello.
Not you.
All right, they're drifting.
So it's 1100 metre track, Le Mans track. So that should be an exciting morning. Looking at arriving at 7 and registering, 7:45 brekkie, 8:30 track practice, 9:10 four event sprint series, and then we got trophy presentation at 10:15, and Roman's not allowed to enter. We're looking around $99 per driver, but we'll see if we can get that down a little more for the members. And you're welcome to bring your own food and refreshments as well. And that's about it for social.
Those events. John Payne, membership.
Yeah, currently it's about 379 members showing on our system. I think there's a few laps that I'd like to get in contact with and try and get them back. They might have just overlooked it. This month we've had 13 new members join, and I think the month of December we had 8 join. So it's ticking over pretty steadily. And, we'll try and keep working on getting more members. So.
Thanks, John. Okay, whilst we're on membership, what we're going to do is amend the way we do our membership cards. Rather than doing them annually and printing out the date on the card, we're just going to send out one generic card with your details, your membership date from, and your number, and a QR code for the club. But then we would like to try and instigate a system using our wild apricot membership system, So when you log on to the BMW Club website, when you log on, your name will come up the top of the screen on the home page, up there. And so if you click on that, that takes you through to your profile. Now on your profile, you'll now see there's a membership card. Now that membership card, you can download it and print it out if you want to. You know those little sachet holders that you can put cards in on a lanyard? Yep. It's designed to cut out and put in there. And so that's what the card will look like. But if you have either an iPhone or an Android phone, Wild Apricot does an application called Wild Apricot for Members. So if you put that on your phone, iPhone or Android phone, you can then log in using exactly the same details as your web login, and that just mirrors the website. So it gives you all the information about events, upcoming events, events that you've booked for, that information, so it's on your phone as well. But it also gives you, so that's the page on mine, so it also gives you my card. So if you click on that, on your phone, you'll now have your membership card with your current details on it to when it is valid until. So it gets away from this thing of having to print out and post out 400 cards every year, where it just seems a bit tedious that we're doing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and you know, envelopes and stamps and labour and that sort of stuff, where 99% of us, Susan Pick, have a mobile phone that you know what to do with. But we'll cut one out especially for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. But yeah, I think that's a much better way to go, because it also gives you a QR code if you want to log in or do anything. So it's all there. So that's a screen grab of my phone. So that's on the events page. So it just lists the events that are coming up, when they are, details on them, you can click on them. So it's all on your phone. So we're going to instigate that, because one of the things we have to do is, because the new logo is coming, we have to renew all of this stuff. So membership cards, printing, all that sort of stuff we have to do. So we're trying to make it as easy for ourselves and convenient for everyone. So we're not, you know, trying to reinvent the wheel and do it all over and over and over again. So, Greg Tymms, would you mind coming up the front and talking to us about what's happening with drives and things, please?
Righto. Hi everyone, I'm Greg Tymms. I'm the drive coordinator for the club.
Always one, isn't there?
Nice to see everyone here tonight. Good to see so many familiar faces and quite a few new faces. So, the next run that we've got coming up is on Sunday week, which is February 21, and we're going to Linville. So many of you have sort of given me the feedback tonight that you've never heard of Linville. So many of you are saying, wear the fox hat, which of course is a clean way of sort of describing, don't know where Linville is. But anyhow, it does exist. In the same place as it was yesterday, so it hasn't moved. So we'll be able to find it on the day. We've got 46 people registered already for the run. Probably we'll have to shut it down at 50. The pub that we're going to, sort of, I'll get the indication and feedback that 50 is about the limit. Okay, so we're meeting at 8:30 at the Puma at City Switch, which is at Bundamba there, and then we're going up the Brisbane Valley Highway to Esk, stopping at Esk. Got to have a comfort stop these days, seeing the average age of us is, you know, over 60. So we've got to factor that into the organisation, and then we're going to leave Esk and go all the way through to Linville. Okay, so that's the plan on February 21. So if you want to come along, got to register on the website, let us know. Okay. Maps will be available on the day, although you can print your own out before you get there, but in case you forget, I'll have a bit of a backup for you so that you won't get lost. There's about, as I say, 46, so it's about 20 something cars, but we're going to go in one group, and so it should be nice to see 26 odd cars out there on the highway, all behaving themselves properly, going in the same direction, with their lights on, obeying the rules. That's the plan at least, eh? So that's February 21. Then after that, haven't got much planned in March at this point, but we'll have to put something together and come up with a solution. But looking further ahead, I want to sort of flag some dates for everyone. So the next major event after Feb will be the David Hack Day on May the 9th, where we go to Toowoomba. David Hack Day is a charity day. It's based in Toowoomba at the old Toowoomba Airport. And it's put on by the Rotary Club, the combined Rotary Clubs at Toowoomba, and it's pretty well attended. About 650 odd classic cars get together on the day. It's an early start for us because we're going to get from here up to Toowoomba. We'll be at Toowoomba by about 20 past, 8:30. So it's an early start for us. Probably be about 6:30, 6:45 start from the, I was going to say the BP at Blacksoil, but they've built just a brand new Caltex at Blacksoil right next to the BP, and I'm keen to try it out to see what it's like.
Greg, that's a Sunday, isn't it?
That should be a Sunday, unless I hope I've picked my dates right.
That's my mate.
So that's May the 9th. Then I've been, it's been asked if we can get the Border Rangers run happening again, which, you know, many of you have probably done before. But, you know, lately we might be able to get over the border, but can we get back? So, provided things sort of ease off, COVID-wise, we're planning to have the Border Rangers run in late July. Okay, so that'll be a Brisbane start, and we end up at Yukai, the Mount Warning Hotel at Yukai. And then that will be where we have lunch, and then you can come home any way you like from Yukai, which you can either come through Wollumba, out onto the highway, or come back the way you went down. It's up to you. So that is being flagged as well. Border Rangers run late July. Now, in August, I want to consider doing a day run up to the Leyburn Sprints. So I don't know whether you've heard of the term, Leyburn, Linville, wear the fox hat. So you're probably thinking that as well. Leyburn is in not far from, where was it? Cambodia. You went to Cambodia there a while ago. Leyburn's not far from there. But it's got a significant heritage here in Queensland because the 1949 Australian Grand Prix was run at Leyburn and on the airstrip there. So we're going to go there to see the sprints for the day. So they'll have cars going fast through the town with hay bales set up, and it'll be interesting just to watch it and see how skillful these guys are in negotiating the what would you call it? A bit of a hill climb through the centre of town. Okay, Leyburn. That's it. Hey?
Street sprints.
Street sprints, yeah, not a hill climb, but street sprints, yeah. No, it probably isn't. No. It's a very mild one if there is. Yeah. Yeah, do they? Righto. So that's the plan there. And that leads us into September, and September is Speed on Tweed, if it goes ahead. Speed on Tweed, another event that will be resurrected, hopefully. It was cancelled last year, hopefully it won't be cancelled this year. But that's another event I wouldn't mind sort of supporting because it isn't that far away. Again, it's a street sprint and it's worthwhile going to have a look at it. Okay, so that's the plan at this stage there, the runs we've got organised. It's good to see the runs are being very well supported. That means you must want to do them. That means you must want to enjoy getting out and going for a drive. So it's good to see you. Appreciate the support and the backup. So there you go. Any questions?
There was one.
Yeah.
There was one comment that I received earlier this evening.
Yeah.
Greg, I think it's Greg Douglas, was asking if we could put on a convertible run sometime soon.
All
so
right.
gone back to him and asked him if he has any idea where he might like to go and what sort of time of day. Obviously, convertibles, you know, whether it be evening or night time.
Late afternoon.
So I think we can just throw that on. There's a number of people who've got convertibles. In fact, here's a gentleman who's just walked in the room who's got the most amazing convertible.
Is that right?
If people haven't seen, Russell Dean's just bought a E32 7 Series convertible. What an amazing car! So I think you should be our lead car for the convertible run.
You should be too. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you.
All right. Well, just whilst we're also on events, I just wanted to point out another quick change that we've made to our website. Just recently, I've wanted a traditional calendar, you know, a day by day, week by week, month by month calendar. So now, if you go on our website under events, you can either go to the normal registration list, which we've had, or an events calendar. Ta-da! It's a calendar. And it interfaces with our booking system. So it's just like, you just click on that, it'll just take you through to the events registration. But it's good for us in a planning sense because we can sort of see what the month looks like. And for committee, if the committee members, when you log on in your admin view, it will show you all the planned events that aren't made public yet, so that we've got an idea of a spread of events and conflicts and things like that. So yeah, but it's just another function of our wild apricot management system that we use. So yeah, so you can see Club run to Windmill Hotel on the 21st. So it's just a convenient way of checking that all out.
And that's there now, is it, Gary?
Yes, it's there now.
Yeah, that's what we did the other night.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Sponsorship and advertising, work in progress. Russell Dean and I, we have to get together. Your place. We'll do this. We'll get this happening. Editors' reports. There's a couple of magazines here from interstate clubs if you'd like to have a look at. And there will be a Queensland Beamer newsletter. It's coming. Please bear with me. Motorsport report. Dennis. Dennis obviously is locked away in his room somewhere. He's got the skid pan that happened just recently. Very popular. Great day. Was anyone here at the skid pan? Ah, Peter Domroy. Tell us about it, Pete. A, was it good? Sorry? Yeah. Yeah.
All blue? No. One blue.
So, just lots of M2s, yes.
That was good. I'm not really know much to say. I'm just going to say you'll see this happen.
As long as you keep having fun and people keep turning up. There was about, I think from memory, there was about 14 people there, 14 members. Yeah, yeah. Yes. In fact, that's why Dennis was in Melbourne, because he's just bought a new van. So he's very excited about his new van.
He should have quarantined it.
Right. Great, excellent. So yeah, so that skid pan was great, and so Dennis has got a QR coming up on the 26th of February. There are 34 registrants so far. We need about another 6 to break even to make it popular. Oh, sorry, make it cover our costs rather. Yeah. So please come along if you would like. He also mentioned that one of the events on the future calendar, I think he said it was July, but don't hold me to that. It was either June or July, but I think it was July. Has to be moved because of a conflict with Porsche Club, something like that. Okay, moving on, web and IT. As I touched on before, we've had a major issue sorting out domains and emails and things. too long and boring, but thank you to Russell and his team at Hype Creation for being so patient and helpful and guiding us through it. He brought on board a couple of other people, David Whitaker from Computer Troubleshooters and Dustin Gray from Pixelbird. Those guys eventually, when, as I said, I asked the right questions, they were able to give me the right answer and sort it out. So our emails are now working again. The problem was that anyone who wrote to any of the BMWCQ.com.au email addresses, president, treasurer, secretary, whatever, those emails were going into the ether, and we didn't actually have control of the domain or the website to fix the problem. So it was a huge thing to try and get that back. Anyway, it's all done. So thank you very much. And again, that was one of the things that I was talking about with Peter Solomon, who is going to make sure that that he can help me and the club with that sort of thing, because although Russell does a lot of work with us and does our website and that sort of thing, all his staff are on the clock. So I would rather get our stuff organised so that we're not, wearing out our welcome with Hype to sort that out. So thank you guys, and thank you Peter, and thanks again Russell. Okay, merchandise report, Alex Irvine's not here. We're just holding off a little while to get the new logo sorted so that we can start printing new t-shirts and things like that. Correspondence.
We basically covered
Yeah,
that.
done that. Okay, delegates report, back to me. As you hopefully all know, we had a poll to select the new logo. Briefly, BMW Germany has changed the roundel, changed the logo, so 700 clubs, BMW clubs worldwide, have to change their logos. So, to comply with the new layout, new design, new format, all that sort of stuff. So it meant for us that our existing logo didn't particularly fit the new design. The new design is very short and wide. Unfortunately, Queensland is not short and wide. So to fit it into the shape, we did some redesigns, put it out to all the club, and the design that finally was selected by a majority was that one. So over the period of time, we sent out 3,300 emails. 1,070 emails were actually opened, we can track them. 472 emails were clicked on by members, but only 148 people registered to vote. That particular logo, the results were, there were 5 logos. It was 84, 22, 21, 21 and 0. The pineapple. Sue loved the pineapple.
You wouldn't let me vote for it.
But anyway, so we're waiting now to hear back from Germany as to when we can actually instigate that. The 2 different variants there are the 2 different ways we can use the logo. The black spotty background is for when we embroider it or put it on a dark shirt or a dark hat or something like that. So the lines are reversed, the white lines, the black lines on the original one are now white. The roundel circles are white instead of black. So it just stands out. So the one on the right is like a transparent. So if you imagine the colour of the shirt behind that, that would be how it would look on a dark coloured shirt. Or if you want to, you can still use the left-hand one on a white patch on a shirt as well. So anyway, it's up to us to decide. Okay, general business. Does anyone have anything they would like to discuss as far as general business is concerned? Any hopes, dreams, aspirations, ideas for runs, things you... Interclub challenge. Speak to us. Would you mind coming up the front so that we can... Vaughan looks after our Interclub challenge for motorsport.
Most of you would know about this, I guess. The current members or the new members might not, but between ourselves, the Holden Sporting Car Club, Lotus, MG, MR2, Mawullumbar Sporting Car Club, the MX5 Club, the Porsche Car Club, the Toyota 86 and BRZ Car Club, Triumph Sports Owners Association, and the Z Car Club, we have an Interclub challenge. So we interchange our events and their events. There's a draft schedule. As soon as I get it, I'll inform Gary and we can put it on our Facebook page and website. The first event is in April with the 86 and BRZ Club. It's mid-April, and then our event on the 13th of June at Lakeside will be shared with those other clubs. There's a range of rules and point scoring information that you can bore yourself with. The cost of the trophies is about $80 to $100 a year, and they undercharged us last year, so they're going to invoice us for another $20 or something for last year. And that's about it. If you need any more information, come and ask me.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just going to pause for a moment while we reorganise. We've got some guest speakers tonight. Two guys from a combination of companies. So it's Fix a Rim, in a car detailing empire, and RapArt. Yeah, they're the three businesses.
So I'm Andrew. This is Lucas, and just quick one. I'm just going to leave some business cards somewhere tonight, just if you feel like taking any. And Lucas has some personal ones on him tonight as well. So from this combination of businesses, we've started this journey, I guess, with one, and then added the next one and the next one. And the story from the start was always to be able to provide, really good customer service when it comes to the automotive industry. We don't do anything to do with mechanics, although we do understand a little bit, but it's all to do with aesthetics. And 10 years ago I was doing up some cars and I was taking it to car shops and spray painting places, leather shops, air suspension, everything. And everywhere I went, I waited way too long, longer than they said I'd be waiting. I didn't get updates. It was just a nightmare with every place I went to. And I mean, we're not perfect, but this is why I set out to do what we're doing. And it's come a fair way actually. It's probably because what we're trying to do is provide good customer service. But the names speak for themselves. This is what we do. So, Car Detail Empire basically does anything from old car restorations, 1960 Maseratis and things, to new cars. So we'll prepare pre-delivery vehicles for places like Ferrari Brisbane when they've got some overflow, or if a customer has asked for some after-sales services on top of their purchase. So we'll actually come in and do a ceramic coating on a car that someone has just purchased, or if someone's buying a car and they want some paint protection film, which I'll get into in a second with Lucas, the car will come to our workshop and we'll actually put this film on the car, prepare it, detail it, just before the customer's due to pick up the car. It'll go back to Ferrari. We do this for Bentley, Maserati, sometimes Audi, and Lamborghini. Not sure if I mentioned that, but also in Gold Coast and Noosa as well at the moment. So the detailing business looks after a lot of that stuff, and then as we went on, it just became obvious that there are other things that we could be doing as we kept getting asked questions. So there's a pretty cool video that we put together as a recap from last year. The journey is pretty crazy over the last year where we've come, and that will highlight a bit of that. But just quickly, Fix a Rim, we can fix gutter rash repair, so we can basically, it just depends. Some of these new cars I'm looking at here tonight, there's a lot of crazy wheels that are coming out these days, right? So every machine face finish, wheel, that gets painted first, and then it goes on a machine with a diamond cut blade, and it spins and it works its way from the middle out, and that's what gives that
shiny reflective metal finish, and then they give a clear coat on the top and seals it in. Basically, what I'm saying is, if you're getting a new car and your wheels are pretty crazy, if you hit the curb, it's just going to keep getting more expensive because it's getting harder to fix. If you've got a black gloss wheel or a silver one like the one on display there, then you should be fine. Anyway, that's just part of what we do. We'll also do colour changes, so sometimes clients will pick up a car with those different coloured wheels, multicoloured wheels, and they just don't really like it. They just want to go gloss black or even white, or just whatever you want, we'll do it. We paint calipers, and some of the guys in that part of the business are panel beaters as well, so we can do some smart repairings and things like that. As we go, we'll just try and be flexible, but always honest to where our limitations are at. And then RapArt, Lucas will explain a bit about that.
Yeah, so basically I split RapArt into two different divisions. Singly is aesthetic change or aesthetic effect. So different laminates over the top of your clear coat, changing the finish from pearlescent to any type of metallic, carbon fibre finishes, anything like that, which can be really, really nice when it brings out the hips of a good car. A lot of cars these days have a lot going on in the paint, and they're also very, very thin. So a lot of people also concern themselves with protecting stone chips. It's the worst thing in the world. And also respraying is one of the most expensive things on the planet now because everything's gotten a lot more complicated. So the physical protection side of it is obviously paint protection film, which relatively new to Australian market. It has been floating around in our market for about 10 years now, but it's not really hit its stride until the last 2 or 3. We've come a long way in technology of this film. It used to be extremely rudimentary with yellow, would be very obvious. Nowadays it's, depending on the installer's personality, we will push that film to its absolute limits in order to try and hide it. My goal is that you will come up to the car and go, are you absolutely certain you've put film on this car? That's my goal, because that kind of gives me a bit of a kick. I sleep a lot better at night when I do stuff like that. Gary's also got film on his car. It's fantastic. He came to me last year at a previous workplace with a concern. The concern is, I've got this great BMW, I want to take it to a skid day, don't want to destroy my paint. Please help. And paint protection film is very effective in that. So
just quickly, does anyone not know what this film is? Is anyone not sure what this film is that we're talking about?
Tell me.
So on a car, sometimes on those rear quarters, just before the back wheels start, there's a little piece of clear that's on the paint, or sometimes in door jams, where the seatbelt always gets crunched sometimes, and there's a clear film. So they're making that film now in all different forms and better technology, so that you can actually blanket that over a car, so a whole panel so you can't tell. And it's made like rubber type material, self-healing properties, so stone chips don't actually affect the paintwork. So it's great for track days and things. Scratches, knocks with the trolley and things like that. And I mean, it's not bulletproof, but if you get the car, sprayed with stone chips, the film at the end of the day can come off and you can put more film back and your paint's fine. So it is ideal. It's not cheap, but it's very, effective, and that's just where a lot of people are starting to turn an interest to, especially when they don't want to have to remove a bonnet, paint it, put it back, it doesn't align up again, it looks different to the rest of the paint, and you're going through a whole range of problems again. Yeah.
It is an extremely arduous process. And I have rigorously tested the films that we use. I own a couple of motorcycles and I do a lot of motorcycling in my time, and I put pieces of film on the face of that motorbike and I put it through hell, trying to see what it will do, how far it will stretch, how much punishment it'll take, and it works very effectively. It'll sometimes, to a standard, stop a lot of really heavy impacts, but my general rule of thumb is if it's going to break the panel, it's going to break the film. But if it saves you one respray, that can be $3,000 worth of savings and weeks of your time, and that's paid for itself. So keep it in mind, but also please don't hesitate to come and have a chat to me if you want to know some more. Physical changes, color changes, different designs, graphic designs, something crazy, I'll do it all.
We're quoting things like electrician fleet vans and things like that, graphic signage. did a race track car today.
Yeah, did a truck car today. I got another one in 2 weeks, as well as a transporter, so that's very cool. Look forward to sharing that with you guys once the livery drops have actually happened. I can't share it yet because I'll get in trouble. But yeah, like, there's nothing I'll say no to, and if I do say no to it, there's going to be a damn good reason. So whatever you can dream up, chances are I'm probably going to be able to make it happen.
The process of putting the paint protection film on is also quite amazing. You know, the way it can be moulded around bends and curves and things. I visited their premises the other day, and they have a hermetically sealed room where they apply all the films to keep all the dust and everything away from it. But the way you can mould it around mirrors and curves and through vents and things. I met Lucas, as he said, when I just got the M5, and I just spent a lot of money having the front repainted and mirrors repainted, and within 2 weeks I had stone chips on it. So you can imagine the swear words. So I went to Lucas, we were able to touch up those couple of stone chips and then put this film on it, and it's virtually invisible. You know, it's just amazing. It was a thing called a track pack, so it was basically the front half of the car, and then up the side skirts and around the back and across the boot. So it's fantastic. Thank you, and that's one of the reasons that when Lucas mentioned that he was expanding his business, I wanted to share this the technique and talents with you guys, because you know, what they can do now with even wrapping cars and things to change colour and all that sort of stuff is quite amazing. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I guess the other thing that I'd like to mention about paint protection film as well is a big concern for a lot of my earlier customers was cutting on paint. And nothing's worse, and we've actually had a very, very poor example of this come through our shop very shortly actually. This poor lad spent very, very hundreds of thousands of dollars on a brand new Ferrari. It's been done by a reputable brand, and unfortunately the reputable brand just let him down. That's now going to come through to us to get fixed, but think of spending $300,000 or $400,000 on a car, trusting the wrong human, and all of a sudden you're going to have to get your car resprayed. It's the worst possible thing. I couldn't imagine how livid that customer would be. You'll be thankful to know that all of my stuff is templated. I don't want to cut on paint because it stresses me out and I don't like anxiety. So I actually take my computer and a good plotter and I actually template all of it out. If I'm not happy with it, I rip the piece off, I start again, I narrow down the circles, I suck around the BMW badge a little bit tighter so you can't see it. I remove things if I'm not happy with the fitment or if I can't get it into where I want it to go to. The customization options on film nowadays is almost endless. So we don't use knives, and we're extremely proud of it. So rest easy with knowing that if you decide that I can definitely assist you with protecting your investment, it's templated properly. I'm not cutting on your paint.
You get something re-sprayed, do you have to wait a certain time before you can wrap it? Or
usually 5 to 6 weeks, depending on the paint techniques, and that's just because we need solvents to gas out. Because if I do put film, or even sometimes ceramic coating over the top of that fresh paint, it'll actually just keep circulating gases underneath that layer, and then the paint's just going to come straight off.
The painter will always advise they cure their paint differently. Sometimes they'll bake, sometimes they don't. So we'll just work off the advice of them. Like work comes with warranty, manufacturer for the film, and also workmanship warranty. So we stand behind all of the work we do, and like I was saying before, we just wanted to build a business that actually provides service and keeps you updated, lets you know what's going on, so you don't have to get your car back way longer than you thought you would have it. And we also have courtesy cars, complimentary courtesy cars, depending on what job you're getting done. Sometimes cars are with us for 2 weeks, and it's a long time to not have your car, especially if you've only got 1 or 2 cars. So if you've got the booking right and you talk to us in the right timing, you'll actually drive off in, we've got a Mercedes, we've got a Navara, whatever. You'll drive off in something that you can at least keep commuting, so it's convenient as well. And that's why our tagline at the bottom is where everyone is a VIP, basically. That's what we wanted. So, but yeah, we'll entertain a lot of questions later at any point at the break or at the end. Business cards here. But we've got this video up, which is basically it wasn't a video to show you everything we do, it was a recap on the last year of business, but it explains a lot about what we do. So it's a quick little watch, about a minute. Yeah, so it's just a bit about, you know, what we do and all the sort of things we do. As you saw in one of the last clips, that's the old timer garage. He sells those vintage classics, and we do a lot of prep work for detailing, room repairs, all that sort of thing. And he has cars in there worth 100 to nearly 2 million, and, you know, turns them over. That's in Brisbane, and yeah, everything to then the high-end prestige market, everything in between. And we're both BMW fans as well, so just goes without saying.
Not rich enough to own one of the cars, rich enough to own a couple of the race bikes.
I had to sell the BMW X5M I used to have to get this business off the ground, so I'll get a Beamer one day.
We'll be back.
I'll put in a plug for Fix a Ring. I contacted them after I saw the ad that, or the post that Gary put up on the Facebook page, and it was great. The contact was great. All the communication was great. The guy came to the house to fix the wheel. It was early. He was efficient. It was all done and dusted in half an hour, and even had a follow-up copy of the invoice come. So it was great, and they also gave me a discount because they're trying to promote the business. So. And the job was great. Even the missus liked it. She broke it.
Actually, Gary will touch on that as well. If you
Yes, yes. Lucas contacted me and said that any of the club members who want to take advantage of any of these services, a 10% discount across all your products. Yes?
Yeah.
So just use the BMWCQ as your password.
Yeah.
But yes, as I said, John was more than happy with it. Lucas did an amazing job on my car. I introduced him to Phil and Cheryl Sanderson. They've had their 7 partly done. Yeah, the proof is there, so thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Lucas.
Appreciate
Right.
it.
Thank you. Okay, well, I think that's just about it. Does anyone have any other questions for the guys before they go? No? Okay. All right. Well, that's it. Hopefully, we'll see you soon. The drive to somewhere. Thank you, Greg. To Linhurst, Linville. Thank you very much. yeah, come along for that. And the movie day coming up soon. So thanks a lot, everyone. Thank you. Good night.